Leathur Rokk. Welcome to my channel. Let's walk up one of my childhood streets where I grew up on the street, and it is so different now than it was when I was a little girl. This is a street that I think my family moved to when I was 8, or maybe I was 11, I don't remember. But I had my first cat here, and this is a kind of quiet tree-lined street where you knew your neighbors, and we were one of the few renters. Everybody else seemed to own property here, but it was a safe street to grow up in, where you knew that you could go out and play, and when it got dark or when your mom told you to come home for dinner, you did. And the school I went to was close by. But you know what? I don't think the families of the neighbors that I had are still here or still alive. Now we're coming up to my childhood home, and it's this place here, but it's not the upstairs, it's the downstairs. And I was raised here, and you see these are all beautiful tree-lined nice properties, and I felt safe, and it was like a small town. It was really nice. But what I'm about to talk to you about is not a safe subject. It's about the rudeness of some men. Say there was a guy that you only talked to like twice, and I guess he was a fan, you could say. And say he invited you to smoke a blunt with him. You know, sometimes people do invite me to smoke weed. And he happens to live really close to where I live. And matter of fact, I didn't know that he knew exactly where I live, but turns out he does. But anyway, I went to smoke weed with him for the second time. And this was only the third conversation we really had, right? And so he's telling me that he finds me attractive, and that's starting to make me feel uncomfortable. And then, after a few minutes of talk, and he's asking me if I'm single and all this stuff, and I'm trying to skirt the subject because I can kind of see where this is headed. And I don't want to get up and leave too fast, but I really was thinking, you know, I don't want to miss. There are some things that are coming on TV that I wanted to watch anyway, and I hadn't thought to DVR them. And so, at one point he asked me if I would take my shoes off. I guess he's into feet. And of course I neglected to do so. And then he asked me if I had an OnlyFans, and then if I was ever in Playboy. And I looked at my chest and I looked at him. I says, "You've got to be kidding me, right?" And I told him, I said I would never get involved in something like pornography, because what if I was on the verge of being hired as an actress for some Christian company? They have all these production companies now in response to the woke Hollywood agenda and stuff, and say they were on the verge of casting me, and then they did some investigation into my background, and say they found some bad things about me and decided not to hire me. I said if I did things like that, I would get blacklisted and it would cause a lot of problems. And so no, it's not something I would even consider. And I thought out of the corner of my eye, I saw one of his hands moving. And you know, I ignore a lot. I was a stripper before, and when you've ever been a stripper, you learn to put your eyes out of focus and not see what you don't want to see, okay? And I'm not going to get too explicit here, because even though I do not make family-friendly programming, I don't want to be dirty, you know? But I could swear his hand was moving in an inappropriate manner, in a rhythmic manner that you should not do in front of a woman, okay? Frankly, you shouldn't be doing in public anyway. And the thing is, we weren't totally in a public place. We were on his porch. He has a second floor apartment not too far from me, and it does have a lot of pretty green grass and flower top trees and stuff. It's kind of like my neighborhood, but it's a nicer version of it because it's not as ghetto, you know. But that said, this man, he just was acting so creepy. And what is it about so many men that are like this. Why do men feel that they could make a woman uncomfortable by asking her uncomfortable questions? Why do men feel that they can touch themselves sitting next to a woman? You know, things, you gotta keep those things private, okay? We don't want to see what you should be doing in your personal time. And to be talking like that to somebody that you don't know too well, this is only like the third public conversation we've ever had. And I felt very uncomfortable. I should have just gone up and left right away. And I left about maybe 5 minutes later. Because I didn't want to just get up and go, but every fiber in my being was screaming, get the hell out of here, get away from this guy. And I did. And, you know, why do guys have to be such dirtbags? And I didn't see this kind of attitude in California with the guys out there. And, oh, and another thing, he kept on trying to ask me how old I was, and I basically said, I don't talk about that sort of stuff. It's nobody's business. And this guy was a little bit younger, which that's fine. I mean, actually, as far as if I was considering dating him, which I'm certainly not, I do tend to date younger because, you know, younger people tend to have better hair, and I like full head of hair, I won't lie. You know, you like what you like, right? But he kept on trying to ask me. Well, I would occasionally try to lighten things by talking about little childhood stories and stuff, you know, growing up around here. And then when I would tell him about things when I was a little girl, my family did this and that, and then he would ask me what year it was, like he's trying to be slick. You know, I don't like when people try to do the math like that. But this whole thing of him wanting, then he saw some of my flea-bitten ankles, and he wanted to reach out and touch my bare skin, and I backed away. I says, no, I have broken skin. I don't want people touching it. You know, he's got too much of a rash for me to cover with Band-Aids and stuff, and I was wearing pants, and I was wearing those little socks that don't totally cover all the way. Okay, I'm going to cross the street here. You can see this is a school that I used to go to, but it has all kinds of, it never had chain link fences and stuff around here, and it never had a playground kind of thing like it does now. You know, what is it with these pervy men? You know, and when I was talking to him yesterday, like I said, I was wearing trousers, I was wearing a baggy t-shirt over them. I was not trying to be provocative in the least. I figured, how hard can it be to smoke a blunt or two with an acquaintance who seems to like me? And I didn't realize that he liked me. I mean, I sort of kind of thought he did a little bit, but I didn't think it would be this rude, obsessive kind of. And he kept on asking if I dated guys like him and stuff, and he was really putting me on the spot. And to be honest, actually the answer would have been no, but I was just trying to be polite, because nobody wants to hear something negative that might reflect that you don't like them. Nobody wants to hear that anything that's going to be rude or make them feel bad about themselves. Am I right? So I really kind of regret going over there, and needless to say, this is somebody that I'm going to go out of my way to avoid and ignore, and I'm going to have to keep my shades pulled down really low over my windows, because since he knows where I live, you know, sometimes when people know where you live, they go out of their way to look to see if the light's on in the rooms that they think might be yours, and if they know where the exits and the entrances are, then it's a little bit more of a challenge to be discreet and not have people know your whereabouts and stuff. So, yeah, I don't appreciate these pervy fellas, and just because I have this YouTube channel and I make videos, and I guess that makes me a bit of a public figure. And yes, all my life I wanted showbiz, and all my life I wanted to be this public person, and I had this whole idea of what I wanted my life to be like and the things that I expect. And I've given a lot of thought to it the older I get, and especially since I've gotten more and more sober of different things. I think I have a much more level head on my shoulders than I did, say, when I first set out to California. But I do know that, and I'm sure all people in the public eye will tell you this, just because you're in any way a public figure does not mean that you're so open to people that you will take any manner of disrespect. And some people just think that almost that if you have a public persona, then you are like, you're available to people, and it's almost like a part of you belongs to the public. Like your art, even though you created it, people appreciate it and they're familiar with it. In a way, they take a little bit of, they share ownership of it. Like if you had a hit song and millions of people heard it and loved it and stuff, then what you created, really, it's more than just you. And I understand everything you create on video and stuff, everything on the internet pretty much lasts forever. But still, it doesn't mean that the people that you see in these things, that they belong to you. Yes, you can make friends through being on YouTube and social media and stuff. But people, we still have our lives, you know? And to you men out there, if there's a girl you like, or hey, you girls out there, if there's a guy you like, or whoever you are and whoever you like, please be respectful to that person and don't perv on them, because you're going to scare people away, because most people don't like it when you're overly forward. And whatever you do, don't touch yourself inappropriately in front of that person. Save those things for when you're alone. I can't speak for men, but I can speak for women. Women don't want to see that stuff. Okay? So just don't be rude, people, okay? And ladies, because I guess women suffer for this more than men do, I hope you don't have to deal with this shit. I'm telling you. There's something about Jersey men. Oh, God. I know all guys from Jersey aren't bad, but damn it, people can do better, right? So don't be pervs. Okay, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.